Good morning, everyone. Sai Ram. I hope you all are doing well and wonderful. So, welcome back to our English grammar class. So, today we have an interesting topic which is called figures of speech. So, children, why should we learn this topic? So, do you have any idea of this? Why should we learn this topic? Since the topic itself says figures of speech, it is something we are going to learn to draw the picture mentally to convey a message effectively, and also it helps to improve our language. So, children, uh, I hope that you all are interested in writing some stories and poems. So, have you ever tried writing poems or stories or any paragraphs? Yes, I'm sure that everyone must be interested in writing a small poem or some small stories. So, children, uh, when you write the poem, so we give the rhythm or musical rhythm in your poems. So to make much more interesting, so we should learn this topic, figures of speech. So without waiting further, let's get started. So in English, we have many figures of speech, out of which we are going to learn 10 figures of speech in this topic. So, this topic will be divided into two parts, that is, part 1 and part 2. So, in part 1, we will learn 5 topics, 5 figures of speech. So, children, please take your rough book and a pen so that you can make a note when I'm explaining. And because there are different types of figures of speech and different example sentences, so it'll be very easy to understand, and only if you learn the various rules and examples. So I'll just wait for you before we start. So quickly go and get the pen and a rough book. So children, just pause the video and be ready with your rough book and a pen. So I'll be waiting here. I'll just give 1 minute. Get it fast. Yes, now let's get started. Now, what is a figure of speech? So, what is a figure of speech? A figure of speech is a figurative language. A figure of speech is a figurative language. So, what does it mean? It means that is a language which is used to draw picture mentally to convey message or idea much quicker, effective and vividly. So the next one is types of figure of speech. So as I said, we have 10 types of figures of speech. So in this video, we will be learning the first 5, and the rest 5 will be continuing in the next video. So let us see what are those 5. So number 1 is simile. Number 1 is simile. Number 2, metaphor. Number 2, metaphor. Number 3, personification. Number 3, personification. And number 4, alliteration. Number 4, alliteration. Number 5, repetition. Number 5, repetition. It is so simple, children. If you stick till the end of the video, you will surely learn the technique and you will remember and understand and enjoy the topic, because we are going to improve our language and the writing skill. So what are the figures of speech we are going to learn today? Yes, simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, repetition. So these are the 5 figures of speech we are going to learn today. So how many figures of speech do we have? 10, out of which 5 we are going to learn today. So children, let's get started. So are you ready and interested to study? Yes. Simile. S-I-M-I-L-E. So this word is pronounced as simile. So what simile? A simile is a figure of speech that uses comparison between two unlike things. It is done using the words like, as, or so. So these two things must have one thing in common. So what is simile? It is a figure of speech that uses comparison. Means we are going to compare two things, two unlike things. And it is done using the words. So in the sentence, we use the words like, as, or so. So when we are comparing two things, these words will be used. Now let's see the examples so that you will understand in a better way. Yes. She dances like a peacock. Here is a girl and here is a peacock. So these two are unlike things. They both are different. But when we compare these two, so what we are comparing? Peacock is good at dance, so you know. So it opens its feathers. So if it is the climate is like raining, it starts dancing. So this girl, she dances so well. She's a very graceful dancer. So we can say that she dances like a peacock. So here the simile is like a peacock. So we'll move on to the next sentence. Yes. She is as tall as giraffe. Yes. Giraffe is the tallest animal. Yes. And the girl is so tall. So what can we say? She is. We are going to compare these two. So when we are comparing, she is as tall as giraffe. So the words like, as is used for simile. So when the comparison is done, you can easily find out whether that sentence is a simile. The next one. I wandered as a cloud. So this girl, she's wandering. She's going here and there. So that wandering, she's compared to a cloud. How the clouds moves here and there. Have you seen the clouds moving as it likes? So same way, this girl also is wandering as she likes. So the sentence is, I wandered as a cloud. So here, as a cloud is a simile. So understood, children? Now let's move on to the next one. Love is patient and so is my mother. So does your mother likes you? She loves you? Yes, all mamas loves their children. So love is patient and so is my mother. So here, so, the word so is used. So it's comparing the love with mother. So is my mother is a simile here. Love is patient and so is my mother. Let's move on to the next one now. Yes, our second figure of speech is a metaphor. What is that? It is a metaphor. So you must be thinking, what is metaphor? So, a metaphor is a figure of speech that uses comparison between two unlike things. Now, children, you must be wondering, the simile also it was same statement? Yes, but here these two things must have one thing in common, but it is done without the words like, as, or so. So children, in the simile, the statement here it is same, but in the metaphor, in the sentence, you cannot see the word like, as, or so. So let's see the example. Yes. Our soldiers are lions. So soldiers are compared with the lions. So here the soldier is compared to a lion. So here we are not using the word like, as, or so. We just say our soldiers are lions. Means they are like lions. They fight like lions. They are so brave like lions. So here you should remember, in metaphor we don't use the word like, as, or so. But in the simile we use these words in the sentence. It is just a small difference that you have to remember between simile and the metaphor. Now let's see some more examples. Yes, life is a roller coaster. So we are not saying that life is like a roller coaster. So that means simile. So here life is a roller coaster. So there are many ups. Roller coaster, how it moves? It goes up and suddenly it comes down, again up, again down. So our life is also like that. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad. So life is a roller coaster. So this is a metaphor sentence. Time is money. Time is money. Here the time is compared to the money. So time is money. We are not saying that time is like a money. So spend it wisely. So here we are just saying time is money. So it is a metaphor. Next one, your brain is a computer. Means you can remember very nicely whatever teacher is saying. You can everything you can grasp and by heart it, and you can understand very easily. So your brain is a computer. Here we don't say your brain is like a computer. So that is simile and this is metaphor. Your brain is a computer because you have a very good brain. Isn't it, children? Yes. So we'll move on to the next one. Yes. Our number 3 is, what is personification? This is very interesting. What is personification? So how will you pronounce this word? Personification. Come on, say and practice. Personification. Yes. So what is personification? Means giving human attributes to inanimate object. Means to any object we give the human character. To any object we give the human character. So you will understand better if you read this example sentence. So let's read the example. Yes, the sun smiled at us. So have you ever seen sun is smiling at us? Sun doesn't smile. Only the human being smile. So here we are giving the human character smile to the sun. Got it? Yes. Here we are giving the smile, the human character to the sun. So it is called personification. So to any object, when we give the human attributes, that is called the personification. The second example sentence, the flower danced in the wind. So does a flower dance? Only the beautiful girls or handsome boys, that is human beings, dance. Have you ever seen flower dancing? No. So it is just given a human character. The flower danced in the wind. So understood what is personification? Let's read some more examples. Yes. The clock screams in my ears. Ear. So here let me take my, let me take my pen, children. Here some mistake is there. So here the word is once again. Oh, yeah. So here we have the clock screams in my ear. So here the sentence is, the clock screams in my ear. So have you seen the clock? Any clock, alarm clock, does the clock screams? No, only we people scream. In the class, at home, we always scream and make noise. So here the clock, we just say, compare that, it screams like in my ear. So the clock is given the human attribute. The next sentence. Yes. The red sweater is my friend. The red sweater is my friend. The red sweater is my friend. So, understood this sentence? Red sweater. So, have you ever heard that sweater becomes a friend? No. Because since you like that sweater, red color sweater very much, like how you like your friend, so just you give the sweater the human attribute. So the red sweater is my friend. Next one, you can say that my pen is running fast. When you are writing, you write so much fast. Then your friend is asking, how come you're writing so much fast? Then you can say, my pen is running fast. Means that is the human character running is given to the pen. So it is called personification. So children, any object to any object, if you give the human character or attributes or actions or comparisons or anything whatever the human does, so it is called personification. Now let's move on to the next one. Yes. Number 4 is alliteration. What is this called? Alliteration. How do you pronounce this word? Alliteration. So what is alliteration? Yes. It's very interesting. You will love this figure of speech. It's so funny also. So let's see what it is called. So what is alliteration? So here there is a pleasant repetition of sound at the beginning of the word. So understood children? So alliteration means there is a pleasant means very interesting repetition of sound at the beginning of the word. Now let's understand this sound with the help of the example. Yes. So can you read this big sentence? Isaac, Ingrid, and Isabella insisted on having an ice cream immediately. So here the repetition, pleasant repetition you can see of sound of the beginning of the word. So everywhere, so all the words when you see the beginning, so what is beginning? I. What? So Isaac, I, I here. So all the blue color letter, the blue color is the word that is repeated. And so the pleasant repetition sound. So what sound? Isaac, Ingrid, and Isabella insisted on having an ice cream immediately. So the I sound is repeated here. So this is sound. This repetition of sound is called the alliteration. Now let's see another example here. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So what's the sentence? Can you read along with me? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So can you make out which repetition sound at the beginning of the word? Yes, P, P, Peter, Piper, picked a peck of pickled peppers. So children got it? What is alliteration? It's a pleasant repetition of sound. Here the per sound is repeated at the beginning of the word. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So when you read very fast, it gives lot of fun to read. And like this sentence, we have many more lots of sentences. And these sentences are called as alliteration. So these sentences are called as alliteration. Now let's move on to the next one. Yes. Why do we use this alliteration? It helps to give your writing a musical feel. It helps to give your writing a musical feel. So example again. Let's see here. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So isn't it funny, children? So we can hear the musical feel also when we read this sentence. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So it's very funny to learn also. It's very nice to hear this musical sentence. So alliteration is used to give your writing a musical feel. Yes, our last one for today's session is repetition. Now again here you're not going to get confused with alliteration and repetition. Now let's see what is repetition called. So a word or a phrase or a line which is repeated for effect and to make an idea clearer. Let's read again. A word or a phrase or a line which is repeated for effect and to make an idea clearer. Let's understand this with an example. Yes. So here nowadays we have a famous phrase everywhere we can hear. So do you know what is that phrase? Yes. Here. Go Corona, go. So here, go Corona, go. But what this here repetition is there. So can you find out what is repeated, children? Yes, the word go. So go Corona, go. So it's a phrase and the word go is repeated. It gives the more effect and to make an idea clearer. So it is very effective line and the idea is also very clear that we are saying go Corona, go. So understood what is repetition? Repetition is the word which will be repeated and in alliteration the starting of the word, that is sound. So the starting of the letter will be repeated. So do not get confused with alliteration and the repetition. Now let's see one more example. Yes, we will digest coronavirus. We will defeat coronavirus. So children, repeat. We will digest coronavirus. We will defeat coronavirus. So what is repeated? Very good. The word we will. Here we will and here also we will. So children, isn't it very effective? And the idea is very clear. So you can, with this rhyming words, so with this repeating the words, so you can present your ideas very effectively. Now let's see the another sentence. The president said, work, work, and work are the key to success. So, what does your mom also says, right? Yes, sit and study, study, study. Then only you will be success in your life. So here the sentences. The president said, work, work, and work are the key to success. So what is repeated, children? Right. Work, work, and work. So this word is repeated to make the sentence more effective and clearer. So this is called repetition. So children, I hope you understood our today's session, figures of speech, part 1. That is, we learned 5 figures of speech. Now let's do a small activity here. Now I'll be reading out the question. Her heart is like gold. So here, simile. The answer is simile. It is compared. Heart is compared to the gold. Sheep should sleep in a shed. So children, what is the figure of speech here? Sheep should sleep in a shed. Yes, alliteration. So S, the sound. S sound is repeated. Sheep should sleep in a shed. Time is money. It's a metaphor. So here there is no words used like, as, or. So it is a metaphor. If you think you can do it, you can do it. So what is repeated here? Yes, you can do it, you can do it. So repetition. So the answer is repetition. Isn't it simple, children? Our last one, the fire swallowed the forest. So the answer is personification. So does the fire swallow? Who swallows? Yes, of course, human beings and the animals, we swallow. But does the fire swallow? No. So here we are giving the human attribute. The fire swallowed the forest. So the answer is personification. So children, the assignment is given. So find out, read the sentence and find out what type of figures of speech. So answer and submit it. Till then, bye bye. And in the next session, we will do the next 5 in part 2. So bye bye, children.